Boy comes back to life after car accident, reveals a strange message. Every day, Julie visited her son Landon at the hospital. She knew his chances at survival were slim, but she still hoped that he would wake up one day. And he did. But what the boy told her shocked Linda to the core. How could something like this be possible? In 1997, Landon and his parents went on a family trip to another state. They had a great time and were planning to come back in a few months. Little did they know that the disaster was waiting just around the corner. When they reached an intersection, they noticed a fast-moving car approaching them. The vehicle was moving so fast that the couple initially assumed the driver wasn't aware of the road junction ahead. It was an ambulance, but there was no siren. Suddenly, they heard a loud crash, followed by screaming and crying. The ambulance had crashed into their car. Landon's father died immediately, but the rescuers managed to stabilize his mother. Initially, they thought there were only 2 people in the car, but then they noticed a child's shoe. As the rescuers were about to take the couple to the hospital, they noticed a child's shoe inside their vehicle. The car was so totaled that the rescuers couldn't tell how many people were inside. If it wasn't for Landon's shoe, they might have never found him. They brought Landon to Carolina's medical center, and as soon as the medical professionals assessed his condition, they knew he probably wouldn't make it. The 8-year-old was in critical condition. The day he arrived at the hospital, he died 2 times and was brought back to life. The doctors told Landon's mother that the chances of his survival were very slim. He had a brain injury, and even if he survived, he wouldn't know how to walk, talk, or even eat. Julie had no other choice but to pray for him. After 2 weeks, Landon still showed no improvement. But just when his mom began losing hope, something unexpected happened. Suddenly, Landon opened his eyes, looked at Julie, and told her something she would never forget. Her son was alive and didn't show any signs of brain injury. She recalled doctors telling her that if Landon ever woke up, he wouldn't remember anything. Julie wanted to see if he remembered anything about his family and what had happened to him, so she asked him a question. And what the boy told her shook her to the core. She asked Landon if he knew where his father was. The boy looked at her and said, "Yes, I know where he is. I saw him in heaven." Julie couldn't believe her eyes. How could her son remember who his father was after spending 2 weeks in a coma? But what he told her next was even more strange. Landon claimed that he also saw other people he knew in heaven. While he was there, he met 2 of their family friends who had recently passed away. Then, he turned to Julie and said that while he was visiting heaven, he saw the other 2 children. When she realized what her son was referring to, she broke into tears. Before she had Landon, she couldn't conceive for a very long time. Her 2 pregnancies resulted in miscarriages. But Julie and her husband never told her son about it. He had seen them in heaven, even though we had never told Landon, she said. He did not know we had lost 2 children before him. She couldn't believe that not only Landon was awake, but he also remembered everything. It's not uncommon for patients to share their near-death experiences. According to one study by Loris and his team of 6 scientists, after being close to death, some people will report having had an out-of-body experience, having seen a bright light or being passed through a tunnel, all well-known elements of the famous near-death experience. Raymond and Nadine from Belgium suffered heart attacks, and the oxygen was cut off from their brains. "I felt as if I were sucked out of my body at one point," said Raymond. "I was going through a completely black tunnel, very, very quickly, a speed you cannot express because you just don't experience it." When Nadine experienced a heart attack, she recalled seeing herself outside her body. "It's as if you are on a cloud, even if it's not really that. You wonder if you will really return to your body," she said.